Kia ora koutou katoa, nau mai hara mai ki te ao Hākinakina, your sports show right here on your Tribal Pulse, Te Kore Maka o Taranaki, 94.8 FM and 98.4 FM. Nicknamed the Black Jag, he is on the rise within the mixed martial arts world with 11 wins and 1 defeat in MMA, while also having 19 wins and 2 defeats in kickboxing, with a total of 19 knockouts, whānau, across 2 martial arts. He's of Samoan, Māori and German descent. And yes, you guessed it, whānau, he has whakapapa links to Te Atiawa. He hails from the famous City Kickboxing Club, and we're very honoured to have him here on the show with us. UFC Light Heavyweight fighter, Carlos Ulberg. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, brother. Cheers. Thank you for having me, bro, on your show.
Awesome to have you on the show, bro. So, hey, just before we get started, ko wai koe no he koe, a bit about yourself and where you're brought up.
Yeah, I mean, I was brought up in South Auckland, Otara. Made a lot of my journey was pretty much all over south of Auckland, and yeah, got into a bit of trouble, left a bit, made my way to where I am now.
Awesome, bro. So now I heard your dad box for Samoa at the Commonwealth Games, but was it always martial arts for you from a young age, or did you play other sports?
Oh, I played all sports, but my goal was to eventually, as every kid did when they were younger, was to be an All Black. You know, you used to watch those Weet-Bix ads and think, oh yeah, that's going to be me one day. The All Blacks came to my primary school at one point, and I was inspired by that. I think this was during the Duffy book days, and that inspired me to want to be a guy like that, or to have my name up on the bright lights one day. So yeah, I was heavy into my rugby and my rugby league before I turned to boxing and mixed martial arts.
Awesome. And what was it like? When did you realize that martial arts was something you wanted to pursue?
It was 2013, where I thought, okay, this is I'm starting to win a bit of boxing. So I had about 2 boxing fights at this point. I thought, oh, I'm starting to win. I think MMA was starting to get the rise. I was doing some training with Mark Hunt at this point, and he would send us over to Thailand and Australia, and we'd see a bit of it. We'd see a little bit of what could possibly happen for us, and how he was inspiring a lot of the youth too, and the attention he was getting, and how he was able to feed and support us as youngsters. He would help a lot of us. You'd see a lot of guys like Tougher Brothers, Bam Bam Taitui Vasa. He'd help all of us to see a little bit of what he does, and he paid for everything, man. And I dedicate a lot of my he's a big idol for me, and he had a big part of my career in the start. So yeah,
that's awesome, bro. Now I heard early in your career that you actually had your first and only professional boxing fight right here in Taranaki against Daniel Meehan. What memories do you have of that occasion, of that night?
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was one of those things where I thought, okay, this would be a nice time to come back and see, my part of my final still stay out there, so it'd be nice to come out and have a fight out there. And it was, yeah, my only professional boxing fight, and then from then it was just hard to get fights, but it was really nice to be in. I remember quite vividly just being there and just feeling the maunga there and the energy. So it was really nice to start my boxing career anyway over there.
Awesome. That's mean, man. That would have been awesome. I missed that one, but would have loved to have been there. So you headed down the MMA route,
Yep.
and obviously after a stellar kickboxing career, how did this come about, and how did you end up in the UFC?
So yeah, as I was saying, it was it all stemmed off from my boxing career, which led into kickboxing. But then also during that time, it was just being inspired by Mark Hunt, who gave us the opportunity to see what was possible for us. So when he gave us that opportunity, we saw a lot of what could possibly happen for us, what kind of money we could make, and how we could make ends from mixed martial arts, and especially with the growth that was happening with the UFC. So I started to translate everything into martial arts. Started to do a bit more. Moved over to City Kickboxing. This was 2017, and then started to pick up a bit more of my wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So from then, I just never turned back, and everything kind of just stemmed from there. Went into Dana White Contender Series, got the win there, and never looked back. Just thought, this could be a really good thing for me, and I could treat this as a job for me, and it's paid dividends. So the way I look at it is it's just been my university, and since looking at it that way, I just every day is just where I wake up, and I'm continuously learning about the sport, and I feel like that's going to help my growth, and I look at it that way, and every time, every camp for me is I'm always learning something different about myself or my whakapapa.
That's awesome, brother. That's really cool. Especially you mentioned the whakapapa. That's a really important part of our grounding in that. So now I know all fights are tough. But who's been one of your toughest opponents that you've faced to date?
To date, yeah, it would have been so this was my first kickboxing fight in China, and it was against a Lithuanian fighter. He was actually the champion for can't remember can't remember the show, but a pretty prestigious show where I was one of the leading guys in coming into the scene, and then he was kind of running that side of the world. And yeah, this guy just kicked my legs because I come from boxing, where he would have taken advantage of that, and he just took my legs down. And in the last round, I just lost, and yeah, couldn't stand. So being able to take those leg kicks, which is like I felt like baseball bats, and just thrown to my legs. And if I looked back into the fight, I thought, damn man, that was a good, say, just over 50 kicks to my legs. And yeah, this helped me to understand and trying to turned turned everything to learning a bit more about kickboxing since then.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now this one's for the ladies at home. Now I heard a little rumor that you're also a part-time model in your spare time. Is that correct?
uh in the mirror, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I do a bit of that, but I sort of turned a lot of my attention to the fight game, and like I said, like my university is the fight game. So when I wake up, everything is about the fight, and because it's been quite busy for me lately, it's kept me away from a lot of that stuff. But now there are some big contracts coming my way because of the success that I'm getting from the fight game, and you'll see a lot more of it in the near future. So yeah, for sure, it's if you're able to walk the catwalk or model for big agencies or big companies like Louis Vuitton and things like that, that's the goal, is to be a real high end fashion model as well as fighting. So, and that's I guess that's something that I need to tap into.
Oh, must be a Te Atiawa thing, eh? I'm sure they were laughing at home at me for saying that, but I had to add it in.
You have to, brother, of course. All the looks.
All the looks. So hey, you're heading up the ranks rather quickly, bro. You're doing really, really awesome with some stellar performances. What's next for the Black Jag?
We could be looking at a fight the first quarter of next year, which will put us ahead into the rankings, and we'll be jumping. This guy we've already got something in the pipeline at the moment, but yeah, this one he's a big name, and this one will set us up for a title after that. So as long as I get myself I'll keep myself prepared, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go for a road trip, maybe go further south, and then and find, just spend a week on my own and do a bit of camping, and I like to just get away from the big city, and then I'll come back and get back into training again.
That's awesome, bro. Hey, well, lastly, if there was one bit of advice for you, for our, aspiring young athletes or fighters out there, what would it be? What advice would you give them?
just stick to something that you love, enjoy it, and have fun with it. I think the best thing for me is when I jump in the octagon, I know that whenever I have fun, just like if I'm playing tiggy with my mates or playing touch and I'm enjoying myself, I really am flowing and I'm in the flow. So whatever you do, have fun with it, then you'll enjoy it and you'll exceed.
Awesome, brother. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time out of your crazy busy schedule to speak with us on the show. You continue to inspire the masses, bro, and you continue to proudly represent our small nation on a worldwide stage. So from all of us here in Taranaki, we wish you all the very best and keep forging your way to the top of the UFC, mate. You got this.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. That's the goal.